Welcome to Hollywood Secrets. In today's video, we are diving deep into one of the most controversial yet captivating topics in music history: the worst singers of all time. While many of the stars who appear on this list are beloved icons, their vocal talents have often been criticized. Some have earned cult followings for their unique voices, while others have left audiences scratching their heads. Let's get into it. Bob Dylan, the voice that divides audiences. Bob Dylan is one of the most influential artists of all time, and yet his voice is a subject of much debate. For decades, critics have pointed out his nasal, raspy singing style, which many consider grating and unpleasant. His early recordings like Blowin' in the Wind and The Times They Are A-Changin' captured the revolutionary spirit of the times, but Dylan's high-pitched, often off-key delivery wasn't always praised for its technical ability. Some listeners found his voice to be a powerful tool for conveying emotion, while others felt it lacked the smoothness and control of other great singers. Despite the criticisms, Dylan's voice became one of the most recognizable in music, and his influence on the genre is undeniable. Still, his vocal approach remains a divisive topic among fans and critics alike. Leonard Cohen, the gravelly voice that captivated with emotion. Leonard Cohen's voice was a key part of his musical persona, but it was never one that could be described as beautiful in the traditional sense. Known for his deep, gravelly baritone, Cohen's singing style often sounded more like speaking with a melody. For some, this was a captivating feature that perfectly matched his poetic, melancholic lyrics. But for others, his voice was too flat or monotonous to be considered a true singer's voice. Tracks like Hallelujah have gone on to become timeless classics. Yet Cohen's singing often lacked the vocal prowess expected from an artist of his stature. While his voice may have been unconventional, it was undeniably perfect for his type of music, evoking emotions and depth in ways that few others could achieve. Tom Waits, the gravelly, raspy voice that stands out for all the right and wrong reasons. Tom Waits is often hailed for his innovative music, blending jazz, blues, and rock with avant-garde elements. His voice, however, is far from smooth or conventional. Waits' gravelly, whiskey-soaked baritone often sounds strained, rough, and downright raspy. His vocal delivery, at times bordering on a shout or growl, is not for the faint of heart. In fact, many listeners find it off-putting. Yet, Waits' voice is an essential element of his identity as an artist. It's unique, haunting, and perfectly suits his gritty, atmospheric style. Whether he's crooning a love song or lamenting the hardships of life, Waits' voice brings authenticity to his music. Still, as much as he has captivated a devoted fan base, his vocal abilities are often criticized for their lack of technique and harshness. Iggy Pop, the punk rock icon who embraced imperfection. Iggy Pop, the electrifying frontman of the Stooges, is often referred to as the godfather of punk rock. Known for his chaotic performances, wild energy, and rebellious spirit, Iggy's vocal ability has never been the focus of his fame. In fact, his voice is one of the most unorthodox in rock and roll history. His singing often resembles shouting or screaming, with little regard for pitch, tone, or melody. As punk rock was about raw expression rather than musical perfection, Iggy's rough, screechy vocal style was perfect for the genre. However, when compared to the polished vocals of other rock icons, Iggy's voice often falls short. Nonetheless, his contribution to the music world is undeniable, as his unpolished vocals fit seamlessly with his anarchic persona. Neil Young, the voice that divides rock fans. Neil Young's high-pitched, nasally voice is one of the most iconic and divisive in rock music. While many fans appreciate his raw emotion and authenticity, his vocal delivery has been a point of contention for others. Often described as whiny, shaky, or off-key, Young's voice is far from technically perfect. Critics have pointed out that his voice struggles to hit the right notes, especially in his higher registers. Yet, his distinctive voice is a core part of his identity, and it has resonated deeply with generations of fans. Young's delivery may not have the vocal precision of other legends, but it is filled with soul and emotion, which is exactly why his music is so beloved by so many. Patti Smith, the punk poet with no formal vocal training. Patti Smith is a pioneering figure in the world of punk rock, known for her poetic lyrics and innovative music. However, her voice has always been unconventional. Lacking formal vocal training, Smith's singing is often off-key, rough, and raw. Her style is more about conveying emotion and attitude than delivering perfect vocal performances. In fact, critics have often noted that her voice can sound strained, shaky, and unrefined. Despite this, Smith has gained a huge following for her energy, authenticity, and poetic vision. Her voice may not be technically perfect, but it has become a defining characteristic of her art, adding to the rebellious spirit of punk music. Axl Rose, the screeching high notes of a rock legend. Axl Rose, the controversial lead singer of Guns N' Roses, is known for his incredible vocal range, but that range has not always been a strength. Axl's ability to hit high notes in songs like Sweet Child O' Mine is impressive, but his screams often come across as harsh, screechy, and painful to some listeners. While his voice was a key part of the band's success, it has been criticized for lacking control, especially in live performances. Axl's high-pitched delivery can sound shrill and out of tune, which has led some to dub his vocal abilities as unpolished. Despite these critiques, Axl Rose's vocal style is integral to the hard rock genre, and he remains one of the most iconic voices in rock history, even if not universally loved. William Shatner, the spoken-word singer who captivated with his own style. When it comes to vocal ability, William Shatner is certainly an outlier. Known for his dramatic acting in Star Trek, Shatner's singing style is more of a spoken-word performance than traditional singing. His singing is often flat, wooden, and lacking in pitch, which has led many to laugh at his musical attempts. His most infamous vocal moment comes from his rendition of Rocket Man, where his robotic delivery and awkward pauses became the stuff of legend. While Shatner's voice has often been ridiculed, his distinct delivery has earned a sort of cult following. Fans appreciate his unique, almost theatrical approach to music, even if it doesn't resemble conventional singing. Lou Reed, the non-singer who shaped a genre. Lou Reed's voice is often described as flat, monotone, and lacking in any significant musicality. As the frontman of the Velvet Underground, Reed's singing was more about mood and atmosphere than vocal technique. His voice often sounds strained, grating, and off-key, with little variation in tone or pitch. Critics have long argued that Reed's vocal delivery lacked the smoothness or power of other great rock singers. However, his influence on the music world cannot be overstated, and his unpolished voice became a defining feature of his sound. Reed's music is filled with raw emotion, and though his vocal skills might not have been refined, they were an essential part of his unique artistic vision. Johnny Rotten, the punk icon who revolutionized singing. Johnny Rotten, the frontman of the Sex Pistols, is another punk icon whose singing ability has been widely criticized. His voice is far from melodic, and he is known for his harsh, often discordant delivery. Rotten's screaming, shouting, and ranting were a perfect fit for the anarchic spirit of punk rock, but his vocals are not what most people would call beautiful. His style, with its raw energy and unapologetic attitude, was more about making a statement than impressing with vocal technique. While some find his voice grating and difficult to listen to, others praise it for its authenticity and rebellious power. While the voices of these artists may not have been conventionally beautiful, their contributions to music were undeniable. Whether through raw energy, emotional depth, or unique vocal approaches, these singers revolutionized their respective genres and left lasting legacies. Music is as much about expression as it is about technique, and these iconic voices prove that imperfections can often become the most memorable part of a performance. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to Hollywood Secrets for more fascinating stories from the world of music and Hollywood.